Welcome to Ion Hermosa Beach. It's election season here in Hermosa, and because of that, we invited in some local residents to talk about what they see as the main issues. We also then invited in all 5 city council candidates to respond to those concerns and also provide them with a platform to speak directly to the voters. We hope that you learn a lot through this process.
My name is Brian Sheil. I'm running for Hermosa Beach City Council. Okay, how much hard drive space do you have in that camera? Because the citizens are concerned in Hermosa Beach of the budget. The citizens are concerned of the power of the city officials. The citizens are concerned about looming capital improvement projects that are stalled, for lack of a better term. They're stalled, and they're planning bigger ones. The citizens are concerned of a lack of accessibility to the council. Okay, I work in Long Beach a lot, and I work with some government officials from Long Beach. Suja Lowenthal was a council member in Long Beach. There is a little bit, it seems that there's a little bit of a wag the dog going on in Hermosa Beach, where she has multiple employees, city officers, the chief of police from Long Beach that used to work with her, which is not wrong. It's just a lot of control for Suja. Also, I've heard that the contract that she has with the city is very ironclad and very tough to get out of. She's very safe where she is. Not to say that she doesn't do a great job. It's a very hard job. But there is a lot of control in that office right now, and it's almost a wag the dog situation where she is running the city. I've heard people say, if Suja ever leaves Hermosa Beach, she better show someone how to turn the lights off. The citizens are very concerned with the capital improvement projects that are stalled. The Clark Building. We had to fix the sewage in the Clark Building to bring it up to code to make it work at all. Okay, they did that. When it's done, that part of it is done, they could have opened Clark Building again for the last couple of years that it's been closed, waiting for the renovations to be approved and to start that plan. And them planning out the new city civic facilities is a very massive project with massive construction, dirt, and delays in the dead center of our town. It's almost inconceivable, the project that they've laid out. And Fullerton Consulting, they were paid a lot of money to present a very detailed plan to our city and to the Planning Commission. So it's gone through two steps already. Fullerton Consulting's big project that they point to on their resume is the Long Beach Civic Center, which was, I don't know how much money, but it was more than what they came in at. And Fullerton is from Long Beach. Hermosa Beach is a little town. I've lived here for 30 years. Okay, I've been working at the Comedy Magic Club for 25 years. The owner moved me out here, and I fell in love with the place. And it's such a beautiful coast beach city vibe here. The city council and the city officials are so separate and unapproachable from the residents and especially the businesses. I mean, look, I still work with the Comedy Magic Club. I work with Coastal right next door, the Brews Hall, which has closed their doors, Patrick Malloy's. I work at many restaurants in town. And to a person at all of these venues, they're afraid of the city. And they don't want to get involved with anything to do with the city because it causes them grief and delays, and it costs them money. That cannot be our relationship going forward. And you've seen, if you saw last week's city council meeting, the communication devolved into restraining orders. That is not an exaggeration, not a little bit. That's how contentious it is. I'm running for city council. I've been here for 30 years. I've been to city council meetings. I've been to a lot of city council meetings lately. It's never been this contentious between both the city council members and the residents. I'm running for city council to expand the talent pool. And I'm intentionally saying, even on the city council, I know each and every city council member, and they are great separately. Together, they're a gang, and they're together a lot. There's a lot of 5-0 votes, 4-1 votes in Hermosa Beach. I think it's time that we expanded the talent pool. And I also think it's time that equally goes for the residents that come and speak with the city council. They could also be more respectful, and they should be. And I wish more residents would get involved. So no matter how this election turns out, I'm really here to bring attention to our city council, what's going on in Hermosa Beach, and expand the talent pool from residents contributing and people, because it's all the same group of people. We've been playing musical chairs on the Planning Commission and the Parks and Recreation Commission and the City Council. It's all musical chairs for the last 30 years. It's all the same people. It's time for some new blood. I work with probably the toughest business people in our community. I encourage anyone watching to go to briansheil.com or look at my LinkedIn page, and you know the business people in town that I work with. And any one of them, anyone who works in this town will tell you the people that I've worked with for 25 years are the toughest people to work with in town, and I'm able to continue this relationship. I've worked with the same people for the last 30 years. I can communicate with the city council. I'm friends with most of them on the city council. And it's time, I mean, all my posts on Facebook have the song, "Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?" And I'm serious. We're all neighbors in Hermosa Beach. After all this is decided, and after the communications protocol is decided by the new city manager, you know, we're gonna be neighbors again. So why can't we be friends? You mentioned to me that the new communications plan has been adopted and wasn't ratified by the city council. It was, and they're finalizing that verbiage, and the controversial part of that verbiage is that the city manager has final approval of all press releases, and after the press release is done, the city council individually cannot go talk to the press. That is an expansion of the Brown Act. It doesn't say that in the Brown Act anywhere, that the city council cannot go and express their dissent. The dissenting opinion, it's like going to the Supreme Court and say you had a dissenting opinion, you didn't win, you can't speak to the press. That doesn't say that in the Brown Act. So the new communications platform was to comply with transparency in government via the Brown Act.
We wanted to thank everybody who participated in our show. We hope that all of you learned a lot at home. We want to make sure that you get out and vote. And thank you for watching Eye on Hermosa.